Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How you guys doing? Morning, Sean. Let me get situated here. Let's see. Morning, Shirag. Let's wait a couple minutes here before we start. Got some pretty good levels that we can go off of for today. So we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Any of you guys traded the afternoon session? I mean, that was a crazy reversal there. Really thought we were just gonna consolidate at the around that 7.5 above 7.560, but we got a fade. All right, let's start it up. So economic calendar for today. Numbers came out already for non-farm employment change and employment rate. Market kind of had an initial push up, as you can see with ES and then Nasdaq as well. But you're starting to get these rejections at our local supply. So let's take a look here. Let's go through the Nasdaq first before we go through ES, because I want to do that last. So for Nasdaq here, right? So this was a relative weakness. We got a little bit of a divergence that happened yesterday. Nasdaq really couldn't sustain value above that 30,300, and as you can see, you kind of had that kind of grind to the downside until like that last 10 minutes of market close, where you got the initial flush. Data came out this morning, and you're finding resistance here now, right? And the same supply that we've been having. So that 30,300 is going to be key for me. Keep an eye on this 30K. You did find support there. That's where we bounced in the afternoon session, and also on Wednesday session. Sorry, not Wednesday. Tuesday, right? Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then in the overnight, you were kind of finding resistance and support when you're trading above or below there. So 30K round number. Keep an eye on that. Supply zone, right? 30,300. Just be careful trying to long and Q right around that level, because that's your rejection area. As you can see, you're finding rejections there during the pre-market. All right, so I'm gonna keep it simple for the Nasdaq. I'm gonna try my best not to trade in between this level. Right, gonna try my best not to trade in between. As you can see, if you look back, right, you got a straight up move on Tuesday, and then you kind of retrace that whole move in yesterday's price action. So I'm gonna try to, if I'm gonna position into this trade, it's either gonna be inside this supply, right, for either a potential rejection or a continuation to the upside, or right below this demand zone, right? The 30K and then the pivot zone at 29,900. This 29,900 has been kind of key in the last couple days. So that's going to be for NASDAQ. For ES for today, this is going to be the main watch, like always, right? So let's go over this really quick. Main thing that you want to keep an eye on, let's go on the 30-minute time frame. This, again, this level has been here for the last couple days, right? I just kind of adjusted it. So 7.5, let's call it 7.570 to 7.580, right? This is where you're getting a little bit of rejection there in the last couple days. And then as you can see here, right, that's your Tuesday's high. And then in yesterday, you got that peak above and fail, right? As you can see, you kind of rejected that level there on a 30-minute, and you can even see it cleanly on the 5-minute time frame where, right, you got that push, retraced, right, and you form a bear flag. So that prior high acted as a resistance there, and you got that initial flush down in the afternoon session. And during the pre-market currently, you got that non-farm data that came out, which fueled this move. And then what are we seeing? Right, we're seeing rejection inside the supply. So I'll be careful in trying to long inside the supply zone. If anything, I'm looking for ways to be short, right? Whether we want to see delta imbalance or trap participants, right, within this zone to play to the downside. The only way I'm going to be bullish, again, I'll repeat this, the only way I'm going to be bullish is if we get a breakout and a retest of that level, right? That's what I want to look for. I cannot play the long side, right, inside the zone unless we see some type of move like this where it retraces back. Or if we get some rejections here and then we see some delta imbalances, like large delta imbalances on the footprint, large big orders that's coming through, right? That, or a low volume node being formed, that could be our entry to target yesterday's high. But be careful and try to long inside the supply. The key areas that I'm going to be watching out for a potential long, right, potential bounce areas is going to be this 7540 and this 7520 to 7515. These are the only two areas that I am very comfortable in trading or in putting a position for a potential long. Okay, so we've identified our areas of interest, which is going to be this supply zone for a potential short, right, or these minor demand zones that we've identified, 7515 to 7520 and 7540. So I'm going to try my best not to execute in between the levels unless I see some significant orders coming through the tape. That's giving me confidence that, hey, right, maybe we need to take an entry here since we're getting that confirmation. All right, so that's going to be my analysis, my pre-market plan for today on ES. I might get a little aggressive, just like what we talked about yesterday. I might go against my rule regarding, taking an entry in the first 15 minutes of market open. If I see enough confirmation for me to enter the trade, I will take it, but I'm going to be sizing down, kind of like, maybe buy one contract and then add into it as we see multiple confirmation. Any questions? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We have about 5 minutes left until market opens, so any questions right now is welcome. And then right when market opens, we got to focus up. Can I do a, let's see. No questions? Good. That's good. All right. So reminder that I'm not gonna be here next week. All right, I'm gonna be on vacation, so there's not gonna be any streams. But July 13th, I'll be back, and we should be in our regular streaming schedule. I'm gonna try to. I'm enjoying it, guys. I'm enjoying this stream. I'm actually. I mean, even though it's kind of, sometimes it's making me trigger shy with the trades. Besides that, I'm enjoying the stream. So we'll see if we can do, daily streams from like 1 to 2 hours. Get a trade in or two and be done for the day. Your footprint chart is no, it's not. It's not bid and ask. It's delta. It's a delta profile. So it's a difference between bid and ask. So if you see blue, right? If you see blue, that means there are more aggressive. Not yeah, there are more aggressive buyers than sellers. And then if you see red, vice versa. See if I miss any other levels. I don't think so. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, we're good. No, sir. I'm using Motivate, but I've heard good things about. I don't know how you say that. ATAS. I've heard good things about them. They've made a lot of improvement since the last time I checked them out. All right, guys, we have about 2 minutes left until the market opens here. We have about 20 people watching. We get about 2 likes. Can you hit that? Can you smash that like button before we start? Smash it. Is deep charts any good? I haven't tried them. I know a couple of the guys that I know uses them. They haven't had any issues. There's a lot of things that's kind of missing, like customization, but the UI and how smooth it is pretty smooth, they said. And this is like a couple of my friends that uses it that are actually been that's gone through multiple platforms, and they said it's pretty neat, but it's lacking a lot of customization, and but I think they're making a lot of changes though, so they're fairly new if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys, here we go. Market's opening soon. Good luck. Good luck. Ding ding. Getting a little bit of a push down here. NASDAQ, that's just crazy, guys. from 3,300 to 30,000. That's a $300 push down. Sheesh. Watch that 30K. Morning, Barat. Awesome, man. Have a good one. You're getting a bounce there on NQ at that 30K mark currently. Pretty volatile open so far. There were some passive buyers at 7,554, and then aggressive buyers came in at 7,556 currently. Not a big order, right? Not a big amount. Just something to take note for now. So 552, where's that? NASDAQ continues to be weak, guys. As you can see here, ES is trading right around yesterday's prior high, right? While the NASDAQ is hovering around yesterday's low. Major divergence. Let's put in the profile here. I don't think we have any economic data coming out after market open. Let me check. Yeah, we have factory orders and natural gas storage at 10 o'clock and 10:30, which is not significant. Sellers at 68. No, not seeing anything there. Just a consolidation. Getting a push up there now. Nothing significant for now, guys. I'll let you guys know if I see anything. But Nasdaq is respecting that 30,000 psychological level, right? Demand zone that we talked about during the pre-market. But again, it's not getting the lift, right? It's really struggling there, even getting a good bounce. All right, now we're starting to see something here on ES. That might be trapped sellers there, guys, at that 7567. Here, aggressive buyers coming in at 7568. Let's see if they can lift this. Right, so you see here, sellers, and then aggressive buyers, right? Followed by aggressive buyers here. So see if they can start lifting this. There you go. They're lifting it. All right, 7565. I like to see yesterday's high get taken out, right? I want to see this. And then we push down, right? And then we consolidate here. If we can consolidate here above that 7568, I might take that long there. With confirmation, of course. Red profile currently, now starting to form. All right, here, look at the heat map. Right, you see this? So you got sellers here, right? And then you pushed up. Aggressive buyers started stepping in. You pushed up, right? And then sellers started stepping in. And then look what's happening. Now you're getting another push down here. So 7566, this whole range here, 7566 to 7570. This is going to be an important level here now for me, right? But I need to see like a move away from this zone, an aggressive move away from that zone, and then look for that retest. Nasdaq approaching that 30K again. I'm gonna mark this area, guys. 7565 to 7568. Right, that's where we saw. Like I said, I just mentioned I just mentioned why I like that area. There's some activity that's happening there, so I'm gonna mark that. Again, I would like to see a push above yesterday's high, to be honest. Good morning. Good morning. Oh shoot, forgot to change it. My bad. Here you go. Nasdaq is just so weak. Like my thought process is now like is like if the Nasdaq continues to be weak, it's gonna put a lid on this rally for ES because ES is really strong, looking strong, right? Like if we get this push up while the Nasdaq is still continuing to look weak, if it starts to push down, is it gonna drag ES down, right? That's something that we need to keep in mind. Or is it gonna lift if we break high a day? Is it gonna lift the Nasdaq? All right, big orders there at 7576. Can you guys hear that notifications whenever there's a big order? Because I have it customized. Okay, good. Perfect. So that's good, right? Another big order there. So that setting is only it's only gonna turn on if it's more than 200, and if it's 150, you're just gonna hear the ding, like that, the ding. All these sellers are getting absorbed, guys. What a beautiful move. Morning, Nathan. So again, 7565, right? The 7565 to 7568. That's where we first initially saw it. That activity. Now we're getting that push above yesterday's high, right? We took it out. I would really like to see a pullback here. It doesn't need to be as deep as 7568. Maybe the overnight high, right? Let's see if we can find some activities here. Oops. Sorry about that. Nasdaq. It's just weak. Weak. About 380 lots at 7583. can see that on the footprint too. And then sellers are trying here. But again, I'm looking for a continuation to the upside. I want to see some indication that buyers are still interested. Seven, 5, 6, 7, 7, 5, 6, 8. Nasdaq, why are you still looking so weak? Jeez. Here's for those of you guys that are bearish, here's my bearish thesis right now, or what I'm seeing currently. Again, this is just this is developing, right? This is still too early to tell. You got that big order that came through, right, around that 758. Was that 7583, 7584? Right. So you got this order that came through. Possible, right? Possible buyers becoming trapped. You're seeing rejection here. 1, 2, 3. Still early, like I said, still early. We're not seeing anything yet. We need to see an aggressive move to the downside here for us to confirm that those buyers are becoming trapped. That's what I would want to see for a confirmation. And on the footprint, I would like to see, right, red profile, meaning like, you know, like sellers taking control of the tape, because currently buyers have control of the tape. ES just made a new high. Be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta use the restroom. All right, back. Anybody seeing anything currently? Because I'm seeing nada. what I'm going to keep an eye on, guys, right? Since NASDAQ has been rejecting the supply zone and it's been weak, right? Keep an eye here. So if the NASDAQ, this is the NASDAQ here, starts to come up here at this 30,300. Let me just zoom out real quick so you guys can see and understand this level, right? This is where we struggled a lot in yesterday's price action, right? And as you can see here as well, this is where we're getting rejected in the pre-market. If the NASDAQ comes up here, right, and we start to see some bearish price action on ES, that's going to be my confirmation, right? I'm going to use NASDAQ as my confirmation for that ES trade, meaning that if we start to see some rejection inside this level, and if ES starts to show somewhat of, bearish price action, I'm going to take ES short or even take NASDAQ short. Another big order on ES at 7590, 500 lots. You can also see that on the footprint. That sound effect is just when there's a big order that comes through, right, above 200. So if you guys are not paying attention to the screen, I mean, when you hear that sound, you can just, quickly glance at the chart to see if it's something that will interest you. Yes, sir. It is a motive wave sound effect. Again, we've seen this time and time again, right? When price moves and you leave these like low volume nodes, that's pretty bullish, right? Now you're looking for ways to kind of follow this trend. There's 200 lots sitting at 7,600, guys. Passive seller. 7,600. Yeah, Casey Trade. I'm waiting for Motive Wave to. I contacted them regarding the template. My template is not working. I'm not able to export it. I contacted them, but they haven't responded. I just sent an email 2 days ago, and I emailed them again yesterday. So we'll see. There you go. Shirag said he'll share his. The yellow, that just means that it's the setting that I have. It's twice. If there's a 100% or 200% imbalance from that level. Just not seeing anything currently. Of course, of course. Are you guys seeing anything? So we got a push up. Big order came in, about 500 lots, and then now you're leaving this low volume node here, right above it. So let's see. Is this going to start acting as a resistance going forward, right? This low volume node, after getting that big order. This could be my short, potential short area, or if we start pulling back and if I see signs of buying, this will be my target. Change that. 3 minutes until the 10 o'clock mark. Do you think it's good idea waiting for the price to tap into the 7,600 pending sell orders slab for shorting or directly short when price retested a level? No, so don't put a lot of emphasis on those large, you know, pending, quote unquote, pending sell or buy orders. Remember, those orders can be spoofed, right? Those are resting orders. They don't really they don't really affect the market, in my opinion, right? Because they're not executed orders, right? They're just pending orders, like you said. They haven't been executed. We don't know what the intention are for that one. We've seen a lot of times where they remove those orders as soon as price is about to hit it. So sometimes they'll act as like gravity, like where, or sorry, not gravity, like a magnet, where price will most likely try to you know hit those orders. But sometimes, again, it's not as clear as as I want them to. So I don't put a lot of emphasis on those resting orders. Those are good areas to target, right, when you're already in the trade. I pay more attention to the actual orders that are that hit the tape. Hope that makes sense. All right, 10 o'clock mark. You kind of retested that 7590 large order inside this low volume node. See, all right, so here you go. Just an example right here, Casey Trader. Look, there was about 200 sitting in this order, and look, they removed it, right? They removed some of it. Now it's only 180. That's what I mean. But right now, this is kind of a confirmation, guys. You got the rejection off of this level, right, within this low volume node. The thing is, this is a reversal trade. This is going to be a reversal trade, meaning that you're just looking to scalp it. You're not looking for a continuation. So if you're going to look to scalp this, your target is going to be the prior high 7579 and then the overnight high at 7576. Your stop loss is going to be, if you want to make it tight, high a day, or even that, above that print 7590.50. I'm tempted to short this. I'm gonna remove this supply zone, guys, because it's pretty big range. There's a low volume node here. Between 7573 to 7576. That's an area of interest. I'm gonna remove this zone too. So this is gonna be my dip area for a potential long, guys. 7576 to 7573. As long as price is supported above here, I'm looking for ways to be long. Just type this volume node. Here's another visual, guys, right? Look at the heat map. Just another example. Remember that 7600? There was 180. Now they just added into that. Now there's 202 liquidity there. That might be a good target if we're looking to long. But again, I cannot be long inside this level here. I want to be long possibly on this pullback at 7576, 7573. That's also your overnight high, right? This is the same setup as yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys remember? Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up real quick. Pay attention to this, guys. Pay attention to this really quick. Right? There was a low volume node that happened right here at 7540, and we weren't patient enough, right? We were trying to short it, and then once it came through, we were trying to read the tweet that the post that I did on Next in yesterday's price action. 7540. That was also your kind of like your prior overnight resistance, right? Or your pre-market resistance there. Same thing happening here. Keep an eye on this one. It's the same setup. Low volume node right at that pre-market resistance. So this is going to be a high probability setup for me. NASDAQ getting rejected again at that 33, that supply zone that we talked about. Just so weak. Anyone trade options here? Or are you all futures trader? futures. Oh, everyone's a futures trader. And guess what? There's a lot of I think the Mag 7 are coming into futures. Apple, Tesla, Nvidia soon. I think towards the end of the month, this month. It's going to be interesting how that's going to affect the futures market. Can we get a pullback market? Man, we're really not going to get a pullback. Yeah, right, JP? I think it's going to be interesting. I'm an option. I used to be an options trader. I mean, I still am, but I'm swing trading now. But I can't wait. Actually, any of you guys an NBA fan here? A basketball fan? There's a lot of movements happening in the off season. It's crazy. Anyone seeing this Nasdaq? A lot of bids coming through, or a lot of orders hitting the bid here to the downside. Aggressive sellers. Those are actually aggressive sellers. Started at 30,200 on Nasdaq. Let me view it real quick. I don't know what's going on, but you can see here. Interesting to watch.
Choose your fighter. Lightning inspired. Fight.
That boy good. I like that name or that username. You know who says that a lot? D Money. I don't know if you guys watch PW stream. I tune to that one once in a while for entertainment purposes. Ooh. Sellers, right? Watch the footprint. Sellers, potential trap buyer here. Potential trap buyer there at 7583. But again, it's coming through our low volume node level here now.
You win.
DS has no red day during the stream, but his payout is way too low. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I think he maybe cycles through his accounts. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell you. Or maybe he trades off stream too. Maybe he gets red days around those times. I don't know. I mean, my payout is low. I think I'm using so right now. So I'm trading on my personal account, but I'm also trading prop firm accounts. So I have three Lucid. I mean, three Lucid. Three Tradify accounts currently. I'm actually having. I do good with my personal, but I'm having trouble with like trading the prop firm accounts because it's like I get impatient, right? I get I get good trades based on the when I'm trading my personal, so I copy trade them, not really copy trade, but I'm following whatever trades I'm taking on the personal, and I do good on them, but then I get impatient and say, hey, this is taking too long to get funded. I think I've blown multiple accounts with Tradeify, but I have a funded one right now. I think I'm on my fourth payout. I have three 50Ks, but I want to start a 25K with you guys. 25K counts. I think with Lucid, and then trade it and during the stream. So I'm gonna start that next week, or not next week when I come back. Let's see if we can run it up. Son of a. Was this the pullback, guys? Was this the pullback? I mean, we're not gonna. It's crazy, man. Look how fast that bounce was. Like, just nothing. Like, just bounce right off of that level. Don't even want to retest this whole thing or this low volume node. Just bounce right on top of it. Man. Reclaim at 3180. Looks like it. Looks like it. I mean, I was too, but I don't know. This has been happening like a lot lately with me. It's a 15-point move in less than 5 minutes. Same thing happened to same thing. Yeah, same. It has happened to me Monday, Tuesday. I think actually all this week. Look at the previous streams. All like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I don't know if I'm being too conservative with the entries. Place my entry around. Oh, dude, that's pain. Yeah, it's right. If I take this trade, guys, if I take this trade, my stop loss is going to be below 7572. All right. My stop loss is going to be below 7572. So I'm going to try to get it as close to that stop loss area. Pullbacks are less now. And that's what's been happening lately. It's just pullbacks are not. You just can't see it. Like it doesn't happen lately. Nasdaq is just horrendous. So weak. I hope you guys are not confused with what I'm saying. I'm bullish, I'm bearish, I'm bullish, I'm bearish. So this is gonna be my bullish thesis, and this is gonna be my bearish thesis. All right, I'm bullish as long as we hold this. Oops, sorry. I'm bullish as long as we hold this low volume node. As long as we're trading right above it, I'm bullish. I'm looking for ways to be bullish, right? Targeting 7,600. I'm bearish, right? If I'm bearish, I'm looking for ways to be bearish within this level here. Actually, the 75.90, right? Targeting possibly the prior high or the overnight high with a final target, inside this low volume node zone. That's the only way I'm going to be bullish or bearish. That's my thesis right now. And it's going to be the bearish confirmation if we start breaking below this low volume node. Right? That to me, I might look for, for a short opportunity there. But for right now, you're above low volume node spot. So I'm trying to find a way to, to join this this uptrend currently intraday. There's about 27 people watching right now, 28. Let's please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. I want to continue growing this this channel, growing the community. I also want to find a way to keep in contact with you guys, but I do not want to create a Discord. I just don't want to create a Discord. I don't know if there's any other way. Because I don't want just everyone joining it. I just want a tight-knit group. WhatsApp. No, I just don't want this. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't. I don't want to manage it. It's just too much for me. Let's create a private Discord and then. Yeah, I just want like people who are actually serious about trading. I don't want nonsense. I don't want people like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know there's gonna be trolls and all that, and it's a headache. What do you do in ranges? When price is in range, you're typically not looking for breakout days, right? You're not looking to target, you know, the breakout of the range. So you're just playing the top range and the low range, meaning like, for example, if you have a volume profile, you're looking to fade, the value area high, and you're looking to, play the long side or buy the bid or buy the dip on a value area low. And the hard thing about that is identifying if it's a range, if it's a ranging price action. In this case, we're actually, we're kind of breaking out, right, on ES. And it's been hard for me because look at Nasdaq. We're not seeing that same type of price action, right? Nasdaq is being contained. So you're not getting this confluences where the two major indices are moving in tandem, right? Moving in the same direction. So there's like a tug and pull, like Nasdaq looking weak and then ES looking strong. It's gonna most likely push it down. Here you go. Keep an eye here, guys, on the low volume node. Looking for ways to be bullish here. Keeping an eye. See, even that move, I'm not seeing anything. Are you guys seeing anything after that? Like on order flow perspective, I'm not seeing anything off of that bounce. Nothing on the chart, nothing on the foot in the footprint. Look at the heat map. Nothing. There's nothing there. Like, where's the confirmation? Where are the buyers? Where is it telling me that there are aggressive buyers there? Nothing. Is there a candlestick formation here that tells me that I want a long? Nothing, except this low volume node. I need to see something that jumps at me. If you're bearish, right, our bearish thesis, right, that will be your final target, right, inside this low volume node. So if you're short, if you shorted right at this 7590, that was your target. Keeping an eye here, guys. Oh, 100%. Yes, so Casey asked, do you usually look for additional confirmation for low volume trades? Yes, I do. Look at the post that I did on X, and I think there's like multiple plays there that I've taken that shows what I got for confirmation, whether it's through footprint, right, or just based on the chart or the heat map. But give me 1 second, guys. I'm focusing up here. Let me see if we can find an entry. There you go. So we got buyers there. They just got filled. Let's see if we can start lifting here. We have a initial balance. IB is gonna form in 4 minutes, guys. And then there's usually volatility towards that 10:30 mark. Here's the heat map view. There's a passive buyer here at 7574. Let's see how that gets filled. Sellers are stepping in, keeping an eye on that. Let's see if we can start to see some absorptions here. NASDAQ is also approaching that 30,000 mark. There's another liquidity there at 7565. Is that news? Jeez. Holy shit. Wow. NASDAQ just broke 30,000. Was there any news? Let me check. Nothing. We are coming down heavy. NASDAQ approaching 29.9. All right, 7560 starting to act as support. There's a passive buyer that's stepping in there, keeping an eye on the 7560 level. Watching if we're gonna start supporting here. Nope, breaking below that. Rashawn, I sexted to short a low volume node, and this happened. I mean, I didn't really see this coming. I mean, that was a crazy move. I don't know, guys. I really did not see anything here on that push down, except that 500 lots at 7590. And look at this aggressive push. There's a large bid sitting at 7558, 500 lots. Again, this 7560 is going to be important for me, guys. This 7560 is going to be important for me. This is going to be my area of interest. 7560 area. Look at this, just nothing. Just straight up, straight down. Straight up, straight down. My gosh. Dude, 7560, we see something there. We wanted to see if we can get at least one retest. Nope. Just a straight up candle. It's gotta say F your confirmation, your retest, your retracement, or just gonna go up. But look where we bounce, guys, on the Nasdaq. Where do we bounce? What was the level that we keep talking about? I know I sound like a broken record, but look at that. 29,900. Bounce to the T. Now retesting that 30K. You're getting some rejection there. I don't even know. Is anyone trading this? Because you're a real G if you're trading this. This is crazy. Sheesh. Is this low volume node now going to start acting as a resistance once broken below? Price is now below overnight high and prior high. Would this be a valid short at this level, and look for ways to be short? It's something that I'm looking into, right? And then targeting that 7560 level. Yeah, you gotta have a white stop loss if you're trading this. I think a 10-point stop is needed, 7 to 10 points. Here's the 7560. Watching it here, guys, I'm seeing some absorptions here, small absorptions here on the 7560. Keeping an eye on this one. I think I'm gonna start with one contract. And then stop loss is gonna be below. What's the thing is, where's the proper stop loss? Like low of day, 7552. I'm gonna try this, guys. I'm only in one contract. I'm gonna look to build um, up to 3 cons. For right now, my stop loss is gonna be below 7552. Again, I only have 1 con right now. I might exit out early if we start breaking 7560 aggressively. Probably look to target high day, to be honest. So here's what I'm seeing on the heat map, why I got into this trade, right? You see this 7560 here? A lot of transaction, and then once price came in, look at this, right? Sellers came in, sellers could not break low, right? With this information as well, right? With those large orders coming through. Talked about the 7560 as well ahead of time. So that's why we're getting that bounce. So I like it, right? Again, I'm only in one contract here. We're up about 5 points. If we continue to start to get supported here, I'll look to add into this. Yeah, don't just follow my trade just because I'm getting into the trade. Understand why I'm getting into the trade. And if you guys agree, right, with your own analysis, then you can get into it as well. Not financial advice. Also, another thing that's in line with this, right? NASDAQ bouncing at 29,900. So there's another piece of information. If I find, the only way I'm going to add into this position is if I find another confirmation that, buyers are present and they're continuing to defend that 7560 level. For right now, I'm not really seeing much besides that bounce off that 7560, the first initial absorption there. Need to see, aggressive buyers following through here. Sellers here at 7562. Testing that 7560 again. Heavy sellers on the tape on NASDAQ. Very heavy there. My goodness. At 29,900. I might exit this out. Let's see. Got stopped out there, guys. Again, small position, right? One contract, one micro. I'm using AMP from a broker. Very heavy selling there on the NASDAQ. My goodness. Approaching the 7540. This is going to be our area of interest too. Guys, understand the volatility, all right? Make sure you guys are position sizing based on your risk. As you can see, I literally just grabbed one micro on ES. One micro for a starter position. And you literally reverse the whole move. My goodness. Would you look for shorts? Yeah, so that 7560 is now going to be a level of interest, right, for a potential short. If that starts to resist, I'm interested. Targeting 7540. What's the overnight low? Overnight low is 7520. Was it because of the news that EU accept Hormuz fees are inevitable? Let me see. No, I didn't see anything that came through the tape. Yeah, nothing after 10:30. Because that's where the remember that like there was a lot of transaction that occurred at that level. That's also where I tried a long, right? Where you got that bounce, aggressive bounce once, twice. So that's going to be a level where, hey, if those, whoever that was transacting here, are they, like, if we retest a level, are they going to defend that level, right? Because we initially got that push down. So keep an eye on that. That to me is not an A plus setup, right? An A plus setup would be, I mean, it already occurred, right? This low volume node. I was actually looking for a push up into this overnight high and prior high 7579 to 7576 to get tested for me to kind of play short into. Now, if this 7560 gets reclaimed again, I might try along again. But if it starts to get rejected, then I might try short, right? And probably my stop loss is going to be a little tight. Thing is, where's the proper stop loss? Seeing a lot of buying activity, and they're getting rejected here currently. Man, this is nuts. So the high of this candle was 7558, right? And then you got another rejection there. NASDAQ just really dragged ES here, to be honest. It is. It is. Yeah, and you're nearing that 7540 level, right? This is our area of interest for a potential long here. If you're gonna look to short here, guys, again, the 7560 I'm interested in, right? Looking for that 7540 target, 7538 to 7540. There's going to be a double bottom here. More aggressive buyers hitting the tape. Still getting rejected. And they're having a hard time. If 7540 breaks, guys, I'm going to shift my bias to short. If 7540 breaks. There's another rejection there that close to that 7560. That's also your opening price, right? For today's session. It's an aggressive seller there at 7546. Keep an eye on this 7540, guys. 7540. Keep an eye on this one. Hey, Bellin. Yeah, we took a long. We tried a long here off of this bounce. We were up about, I think, 5 to 7 points, and then got rejected. Now we're looking for a potential long again at the 7540 if it's supported. But I'm gonna start to shift my bias if we start to break below 7540. There's a passive buyer or passive order sitting at 7537 for about 800 lots. That's pretty huge. 800 lots at 7537. So it's like right below this level here. There's a passive liquidity or passive buy order. Aggressive buyer again, same amount, 210. I don't know if that's a passive seller that's putting a lid on this you know rally that they're trying here, right? So if you look at the heat map, right? So you're seeing just passive seller just containing the price down, right? All these 200 plus orders. Every time you try to rally, boom, getting slammed. Yes, you should. I have real time. I have rhythmic data subscription. It should be the same. There's a low volume node on Nasdaq at 29,872. That could be a potential short area that you can look for. Keeping an eye on that one as well. Two minutes until the 11 o'clock mark. What are you guys thinking? Long, short, sit on hands? Path is short. I know it, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, if you look up the bigger time frame, it's a. And the thing is, I'm looking at different um, market news outlet. I'm not seeing anything. Like I'm literally not seeing anything. There's nothing that could result in this kind of push down. Again, 7560. If we reclaim that, I might be interested in longing, targeting again this low volume node here. But you got to get above 7560. Yes, sir, Nathan. Of course. Balance is long. So this 7560 is also your value area low for the session, right? As you can see here. Sell orders just hit 7556. You're getting a push up from there. Come on, market. Just get above 7560. Either that or test the 7540. I mean, we did test it. I just didn't really see anything there. There's another rejection off of that same level. The longer we consolidate here, right, I will view that as um, bullish, right? If we continue to just consolidate inside the zone here, where 7540 is supported, I'll probably look for ways to be long inside the 7540 and just, you know, kind of scalp until we start breaking above 7560. But try not to be overly bullish as long as you're below that 7560 level. Remember, we were able to identify this 7560 around what, 1030, right? And that has been acting as a resistance ever since. Seven five three seven buyers wall. Yeah, it's about 800 lots that's sitting there. They just removed it. Look what they did, Proth. Look at your look at it again. They moved it to 7530. Looks like they want lower. Just aggressive sellers coming in. Look at that red profile. My goodness. Are we gonna come revisit the 7515, 7520? This is crazy. My gosh, it's just a straight. This is crazy. Yeah, I don't see why we can't test the overnight low. Prior low is 7505. My goodness. If you guys shorted this, I mean, you are GOAT. Congrats. I'm over here sitting on my hands after I tried longing earlier. Shorted, shorted. Shorted. Nice, man. Right here, we're at this overnight low, 7520. There's another passive buyer. Huh. 900 lots. They just removed it. But there was 900 lots sitting at 7520. This move is way too exaggerated, in my opinion. Gonna be watching 29,600 on the NASDAQ. If that, guys, this is gonna be what my analysis is towards the rest of the day. All right. Keep an eye on NASDAQ. Remember, it's the one that's been showing relative weakness. If that starts to base, right? If that starts to base, here, let's look at it together. My next area of interest is going to be this 29,600, right? You're literally back inside last week's consolidation zone. This is nuts, right? You had this consolidation, you broke out, you had this consolidation, and now you're breaking back below it. Is this going to be your new consolidation area again? Are you back inside this effery, right? And we just consolidate here. So keep an eye on that. Again, the next level that I'm interested in or looking for NASDAQ to possibly find support is this 29,600, right? Last week's price action, as you can see, 29,600, 29,600, 29,600, 29,600. So mark that on your chart. If that starts to base, if that starts to kind of slow down and find support there, you might see some reversals here. If that 29,600 breaks, man, watch out below, guys. Here for ES, if 7540 starts to act as a resistance here, this might be another short opportunity targeting overnight low. Right, 7515 to 7520. That could be a quick scalp. Of course, Ballin. There you go, Proc. Good stuff. I'm gonna wait until what, 4 more minutes. If I don't find anything, all right, I might just call it a day. Just a reminder, guys, I'm gonna be off next week. All right, I'm gonna go on another vacation. I'll be back July 13th, and when I come back, we'll buy. I'm gonna get some Lucid accounts, and then we're gonna be trading it together. See if we can do it from eval to passing, right? And hopefully getting funded or getting a payout there. And no, I don't have any codes to share to you guys. I don't think I'll ever do that. I am open to prop firm sponsoring this live stream, but I'm not gonna do the whole code thing. I don't think I'll ever do that. Three continuous bearish 30-minute candles. I know it's not. Let's look at the 5 minutes time frame here. Let's look at the 15. Fifteen's not bad. Yeah, 15's not bad. This is an ugly 30-minute candle. My gosh. Look at those wicks. Jeez. Ugly. Happy 4th of July. That's right. All right, everyone. Any other questions before I head out here? If not, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Good long holiday weekend. And just stay safe, guys. Don't rush into things. Stay disciplined. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Just try to take it slow. Follow your setups, follow your strategy, follow your position sizing, whatever the case may be. Just keep it safe. All right. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys back here July 13th. I'm still going to be trading throughout the next week, but not as active since I'm going to be on vacation. And I'll post, anything that I take and all that. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace.